Another stimulus-filled news update for you guys on the $2,000 fourth stimulus check and important U.S. headlines, how Democrats are angling to pass not one, but two $1,400 stimulus checks into the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. Also, the Delta variant affecting the American people and our prospects for a fourth stimulus check. And lastly, news on the eviction moratorium and President Biden's new pay raise starting January 1st. Get excited, guys. On this channel, we cover all things stimulus, the U.S. economy, personal finance, all that right here, guys. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for always watching and hitting that like button. It really makes my day. I really appreciate it. Hold the phones, guys. This is not a drill. The Democrats seem to be pushing for a new tax overhaul that could raise enough money for not just one, but for two $1,400 stimulus checks. Fresh off a House vote to advance a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint, Democrats are now drafting the massive spending package just in time for another vote these coming days. What they're talking about right now: taxes. Now, we're hearing a lot of proposals to pay for this massive price tag, like tax hikes on the wealthiest Americans, investors, and large companies. President Biden proposed a 28% corporate tax rate, higher than the current 21% level. But moderate Democrats like Joe Manchin are already uneasy and said that they prefer to see a 25% tax rate instead. Now, the other side of this tax hikes coin involves partially rolling back some of former President Trump's 2017 tax law, particularly the part that involves how the government taxes US-based multinational firms depending upon the location of their headquarters and where they earn their profits. Senators Ron Wyden of Oregon, Mark Warner of Virginia, and Sherrod Brown of Ohio are taking the lead here. This week, the trio released a draft framework to end incentives for companies to move operations out of the US and encourage them to expand domestically. Now, we're hoping that this would stem the flow of tax money going abroad and instead keep it right here in the US. Now, at the same time, it'll boost our country's tax income to raise as much as $800 billion. That's enough money from the federal government to finance two $1,400 stimulus checks, just like we got from the third stimulus check package back in March. Here's hoping for you guys. What do you guys think about this one? Should we tax these big companies for more stimulus? Drop a quick comment down below. Now, with midterm elections coming soon, multiple stimulus check proposals are on the table, and these lawmakers are looking to be reelected. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm probably more optimistic than ever that we will actually see additional stimulus checks being sent out. Now, while we're waiting on the next stimulus check, there's also stimulus checks coming from some states, possibly including yours. First up, we've got California, the Golden State stimulus worth anywhere between $500 to $1,100, depending upon whether you have children, and it goes out to residents that are earning $75,000 per year or less. Florida's giving away $1,000 checks to educators and first responders, including law enforcement officers, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, aka EMTs, and firefighters. New Mexico, they're giving away $750 in emergency assistance to 4,000 low-income households who were not eligible for federal stimulus checks. Tennessee, they're giving away $1,000 in stimulus checks to full-time teachers, $500 for part-time. Texas, some local school districts are providing their employees with stimulus checks in the form of retention bonuses. In the Dallas suburb of Irving, the bonus is as much as $2,000. In nearby Denton, teachers will receive $500 and a 2% pay increase if they return to work in the fall for the 2021-2022 school year. Several Texas school districts have also approved pay raises for educators instead of direct payments. Now, keep checking our latest news updates as states, counties, and cities are still deciding whether to spend their federal stimulus aid money on stimulus checks for residents. Hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell, that way you don't miss out. Also, check out our giveaway, the special report on gold investments. Valuable information right there, guys. Just hit the link below in the description or as a pinned comment down below. You can also hit the website directly by going to bigeconomicalerts.com/gold. Calls for more stimulus are getting louder as the Delta variant rampages across the United States. Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, chair of the Senate Finance Committee, is all in on renewing jobless aid. Now, according to him, I don't see it as likely that Congress will extend the $300 weekly supplement, but I think there is some reason we need to be talking about the extra weeks and particularly this expanded universe, the gig workers. I definitely think that's worth a discussion. I'd like to figure out a way to build a permanent unemployment system for gig workers. I think that was perhaps one of the most important things we did in the first stimulus bill. I think we have some work to do here. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, as well as Labor Secretary Marty Walsh, have ruled out an extension of the jobless aid programs. Now, at the same time, they mentioned that states could actually use funding from their $1.9 trillion stimulus package from the third stimulus check package to support unemployed workers. Now, according to them, there are some states where it may make sense for unemployed workers to continue receiving additional assistance for a longer period of time, allowing residents of these states more time to find a job in areas where unemployment remains high. And so what this means is that states can use their part of the $350 billion in state and local aid from the March stimulus bill in order to fund unemployment benefits. Let's add this to our list of stimulus to watch out for, guys. Data is really getting serious out here. New infections average 155,000 cases a day. That's a 21% increase in just the last 14 days. And as the situation gets worse, more and more people are turning to the government for much needed help. The petition for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks is now sitting at 2.8 million signatures, just a stone's throw away from the 3 million signature mark. Now, according to the text here, it took 9 months for Congress to send a second stimulus check and just moments to spend. Moving forward, Congress needs to make recurring stimulus checks automatic if certain triggers are met, and we're waiting around for the government to send the help we need. It's also very important to note that the White House has not taken the fourth stimulus check totally off the table. During a White House press briefing, Press Secretary Jen Psaki, she told reporters that the president is happy to hear from a wide range of ideas on what will be most effective and what's most important to the economy moving forward. In a separate briefing, she essentially punted the responsibility to Congress by saying that we'll see what members of Congress propose, but those are not free. Stick around for this one, as President Biden just announced a new emergency pay raise starting January 1st. Find out the details in just a little while. According to recent Census Bureau data, residents of several million households are concerned that they will have to leave their homes due to eviction in the next 2 months. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said in a statement after the Supreme Court ruling that President Biden is once again calling on all entities that can prevent evictions, from cities and states to local courts, landlords, cabinet agencies, to urgently act to prevent evictions. Progressives Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts, Cori Bush of Missouri, Jimmy Gomez of California, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York led more than 60 House Democrats on Friday to call for an ambitious legislative solution. Now, this was called on from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Their letter said, "We implore you to act with the highest levels of urgency to advance a permanent legislative solution in a must-pass legislative vehicle in order to extend the life-saving federal eviction moratorium for the duration of the deadly global health crisis." Now, it's definitely looking like an all-out hands-on-deck kind of situation right here with this eviction cliff right in front of us. We're expecting a breaking news update on this story pretty soon. Don't miss it, guys, in my future videos. Finally, we have President Biden's pay raise announcement starting January 1st, and it's for federal employees. Now, don't leave yet, guys. We'll talk about how this could possibly lead to a nationwide minimum wage increase right down the line, so keep watching. President Biden announced Friday that he is giving all civilian federal employees a pay raise effective January 1st. Pay will increase by an average of 2.7% overall. That includes a 2.2% increase in across-the-board pay and locality pay increases of 0.5% on average. He also cites U.S. codes which allow him to increase pay if he finds such action is appropriate because of national emergency or serious economic conditions affecting the general welfare. Now, in comparison, the increase is greater than the raise federal workers received this year when former President Donald Trump raised federal workers' pay by 1% on average without an increase in locality pay. President Biden also signed an executive order in April that requires federal contractors to pay employees a $15 per hour minimum wage by March 30th of next year. Now, of course, companies are definitely going to be taking a hint from the president and will probably look at raising their own company's minimum wage. Companies who have already raised the minimum wage to $15 per hour, they include Bank of America, Best Buy, Chipotle, Costco, McDonald's, Target, Under Armour, and Wells Fargo. Now, Congress may not pass a federal minimum wage increase, but the American people are already taking it into their own hands. Never settle for less, guys. And like what we always say here, poverty is a policy choice and so is stimulus. More on these stimulus programs in my next videos, and check out our other ones on the channel's playlist. All of our top hits are there. Got Social Security, rental assistance, student loan forgiveness, and even credit card hacks. So go ahead, jump right into your favorite playlist. Oh, and don't forget to grab your free copy of our special report on gold investments. It's exactly what you need to get started on your financial freedom journey. I'll drop a link down below in the description as well as in a pinned comment. You can also go to bigeconomicalerts.com/gold. That was your daily dose of your stimulus news on the $2,000 fourth stimulus check and other important headlines. We covered how the Democrats are angling to pass not just one, but two $1,400 stimulus checks into the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, the Delta variant affecting the American people, and how our prospects for a fourth stimulus check are more likely, and lastly, news on the eviction moratorium and President Biden's new pay raise starting January 1st. Want more stimulus? Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And once again, I just want to thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. I really appreciate the support. I'm really excited to see you guys on the next one. Excited